Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and a very good morning. Welcome to today's professorial lecture. I'm the person in charge of this event. The event will begin shortly, but first, here are some housekeeping announcements. First, for those in Zoom audience, you are encouraged to switch on your camera, but please keep your microphone on silent. As for the audience on the floor, you are requested to keep your phone in silent mode for the duration of the session. The presentation will last in 1 hour and will include a question and answer section at the end of the lecture. Dear audience, you are invited to ask your questions during the Q&A session at the end or to post them directly in the chat box. The organizer will assist in collecting and delivering them to our speaker. Please begin your question with your name and Kulliyyah or organization for identification purposes. For your information, the event will be broadcast live on the IUM YouTube account. For our IUM staff, please use the I attend link provided at the registration counter as well as in the Zoom and YouTube chat boxes to record your attendance. In the name of the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most merciful and the most compassionate, let us begin the professorial lecture event. The respected Dean, Kulliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design, Professor A.R. Dr. Abdul Razak Sapian, respected Deans and Directors of IIM Kulliyyah, centers and institutions, eminent speaker, distinguished guests, and ladies and gentlemen. Let's begin with Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. With the grace of Almighty, we have all begun this opportunity to participate in this wonderful event. It is my great pleasure to welcome all of you to Professor T.P.R. CS Dr. Nuzailawati binti Haji Muhammad Noor's professorial lecture entitled Future Geospatial Technologies in Urban Planning. For your information, this event is in hybrid mode and is being broadcast live to you by the Kulliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design, International Islamic University, Malaysia. My name is T.S. Dr. Irina Safitri Zain. I'll be the Master of Ceremony for today's event, representing the Kulliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design. Before we continue with the ceremony, in order to gain the rahmah and barakah from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I would like to welcome Associate Professor T.P.R. Dr. Luqman Hakim Mahamud, a senior lecturer from the Department of Urban and Regional Planning, to begin our session with the recitation of Umul Kitab Al-Fatiha and Dua. Please welcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Al-Fatiha. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ar-Rahmanirrahim. Maliki yawmiddin. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim, siratal ladzina an'amta 'alaihim, ghairil maghdubi 'alaihim waladdallin. Amin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Hamdan yuwafi ni'amahu wa yukafi'u mazidah. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhika wa azimi sultanik. Allahumma salli wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammadin salatan tunjina biha min jami'il ahwali wal afat وتقضي لنا بها جميع الحاجات وتطهرنا بها جميع السيئات وترفعنا بها عندك على الدرجات وتبلغنا بها أقصى الغايات من جميع الخيرات في الحياة وبعد الممات. Allahumma ya Allah, on this blessed morning, in conjunction with the KAED Professorial lecture, we beseech there and grateful towards you in favor of all the infinite blessing to us, your humble servant, to live in safe and prosperous life. We seek your blessing for a flawless progress on this event from the beginning till the end. We seek your guidance to steer clear of event that would detrimental the progress of this event. Ya Latif, Ya Rahman, please bless us with your tawfiq and hidayat. Please guide KAED staff and IIM staff to greatness, peace, glory, prosperity in this world and the hereafter. Make us a responsible intellectual. Granted us with valuable knowledge that will beneficial to mankind in order to gain your mardatillah. Make us your righteous servant that follow your commands and neglect the sinful act. Please forgive us for our wrongdoings. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وبارك وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin, amin, amin. Ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you, Associate Professor TPR Dr. Luqman Hakim, for the dua recitation. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the event will resume with the national anthem Negaraku and IUM song leading the way.
Let's lead the way, lighten the future, share the wisdom to the spirit of Islam. Revelation and reason, we shall excel, we shall prevail. Merging faith and knowledge, we the Khalifa, we will fulfill the amanah. Together we make the world a better place.
with the spirit of Ayub leading the way, as beautiful as its name suggests. Today's ceremony intends to share the beneficial wisdom and while to inspire to restore Muslim dynamic and progressive roles in all branches of knowledge and intellectual discourse. I would like to invite Professor Dr. Abdul Razak Sapian, the respected Dean of Kulliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design, to briefly introduce a distinguished speakers, outstanding background, and remarkable accomplishment. Please welcome.
Thank you very much, Dr. Irina. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul uddatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. My respected guests, especially we have a guest from few places, either physically or online today. First, Professor Dr. Abdul Rashid bin Muhammad Sharif, President of Institute of Geospatial and Remote Sensing Malaysia. Thank you very much, Prof, for coming. And he's also a professor in Department of Geospatial Information Science. Is it? UPM, okay. And also we have a Dean from Faculty of Architecture, UPM, Associate Professor TS, Dr. Muhammad Johari Muhammad Yusof, okay. And also not to forget, we have also Deans from other Kulliyyah, which is, we have supposed to be online, Professor Dr. Muhammad Abdul Aziz Abdul Hamid, from Al-Azhar University, Cairo, Egypt. And also Professor Dr. Abdul Aziz Baraud, Dean, International Institute of Islamic Thought and Civilization, ISTAC, Dean Kulliyyah of Science, Associate Professor Dr. Zarina Zainuddin, Dean Kulliyyah of Economic and Management Sciences, Professor Dr. Gairul Razmi Muhammad Ghani. And I saw also online, thank you very much to Professor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Muhammad Tahir Mat Azhar, our Director Ombudsman, that is actually online. And not to forget also our own professor. Thank you very much to our Professor Emeritus Datuk Dr. Mansur Ibrahim for being able to gather with us today, support KAED activities, especially this very momentous moment to us. And we have Professor Dato' Alias, Professor Dato' Sri Asia, and of course my Deputy Deans. Deputy Dean I nak bagi dia punya Professor talk, Professor Zaila. Okay. And also we have Professor Zaila. I saw Professor Zaila there. And of course, mana tadi nampak Azila, okay, Zaila, Azila, sorry, dia tersasul, dah biasa panggil Azila. I nampak tadi Syakir, mana Syakir? Tu Syakir, okay. Dr. Syakir, and also head of departments. Of course, not to forget, Dr. Hamiruddin di belakang, our Deputy Dean Postgraduate. And our head departments, our lecturers, and our student. I was informed by Dr. Saiful just now. Kita ada few people also online, our student and our guests that is actually following online. Alhamdulillah. So thanks to Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala for giving us this again opportunity. This is actually the second of this year, our professional talk. And yesterday also we have a very important event that we are celebrating our student for their Dean List Award. And today we are celebrating our professor in this professional talk. Alhamdulillah. So on behalf of Kulliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design, I would like to convey our greatest appreciation and thanks to all invited guests for your willingness to join us either physically here in this room or listening through online to our Professor TPR GS, Dr. Nozailawati Muhammad Noor, for her professional talk on the topic Future Geospatial Technologies in Urban Planning. And I would like also to express my thanks and gratitude to the top management university, especially to yang berbahagia Professor Dr. Ahmad Farid Ismail, our Deputy Rector, Academic and Internationalization, and I believe he cannot join us today. I was informed that he's actually got tasks in overseas, okay? But he already always support us and giving us the opportunity, okay, to have this professional talk happen in our kuliah. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a day where we want to celebrate the pinnacles of one person who have achieved various achievements as an academic staff. In other words, today is the day we want to celebrate Professor TPR Geospatial Dr. Nozailawati binti Muhammad Noor for her achievement throughout the years and to listen on her wisdom and knowledge on her area of expertise. I was informed by Professor Dr. Nozailawati that today he also invited her family. Ada family datang sekali tak ni hari? Oh, okay, far away. Spiritually, they are actually together with us. Okay, and I believe that they always make doa, not only to Prof. Zaila, but to all of us. Okay, friends, teachers, and supervisors, former academic staff of Urban and Regional Planning Department, as well as colleagues from various organizations such as Geospatial Information Science Research Center, UPM, and also from the MOU partners such as Selgem, Selangor Geospatial Management Sdn Bhd, from other universities, Shebura Institute of Technology Japan, Urbanist Malaysia, and other guests. I can confirm that she already invited because all the letters signed by me. Okay, so thank you very much to all. Okay, either you are physically here or you are actually joining online. So before we proceed with the professional lecture, it is my honor to share with all the guests a brief background of our beloved speakers for today's lecture. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Town Planner, Geospatial, Dr. Nozailawati binti Haji Muhammad Noor is a professor and a senior lecturer at the Department of Urban and Regional Planning in Kulliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design, International Islamic University, Malaysia. She is also a certified professional town planner and geospatialist. Her involvement in geospatial technologies is integral to her work in urban planning, where she leverages these tools to address complex urban challenges. Her expertise in Geographic Information System or GIS, remote sensing, and spatial data analysis enables her to assess and visual various aspects of urban environment with precision and depth. In her professional talk on future geospatial technologies and urban planning, Professor Nozailawati explores the transformative potential of emerging geospatial technologies to shape sustainable and resilient urban environment. As a leader in the field, she delved into how advances such as spatial modeling, real-time GIS, and remote sensing drones application and AI-driven geospatial analytics. So all these tools that I have mentioned actually can redefine urban planning by providing deeper insight and more accurate predictions. She also emphasized how future geospatial technologies can improve decision-making in urban planning by offering dynamic, data-rich visualization of city landscape. Ladies and gentlemen, a bit on her background, she was born, ni nak reveal sikit lah dia punya tarikh lahir. So boleh kira lah kan, okay. She was born on 7th of July 1978. Oh, muda lagi, still young. And originated from Maceh, Terengganu. Maceh, Kelantan. Selalu salah sebut. Maceh, Kelantan. Kalau Marang, Terengganu lah. She hold a PhD and MSc in remote sensing, a Bachelor of Urban and Regional Planning, and Diploma of Urban and Regional Planning from UTM. So daripada diploma sampai PhD UTM. Betul ke lah? Full, complete UTM alumni. Her specific expertise in urban remote sensing and physical planning. Currently, she is a certified town planner under the Board of Town Planner Malaysia and a corporate member of the Malaysian Institute of Planner. She is currently Vice President and fellow member of the Institute of Geospatial and Remote Sensing Malaysia. So now you can figure out why the president is here. Okay, so the president support the vice president for today's event. She is also the one of the director in one startup company, IIUM Planning Design Senian Berhad. As an academic staff at IIUM and KAED, Professor Town Planner GS Dr. Zailawati binti Haji Muhammad Noor joined IIUM on 3rd May 2011 as Assistant Professor at the Kulliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design. With her vast experience in teaching and research, she was then being promoted to full professor in 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, she has been involved as principal investigator for MOHI Research Grant and led collaboration research and consultancy among universities, intergovernmental and non-governmental agencies at national and international level. She is also distinctively competent with various publications in journal, book chapters, proceedings, and manuscripts that are indexed in ISI, Scopus, and Web Science, and has participated in many symposiums, conferences, workshops, and seminars that are related to her expertise. So the next event that she's going to join is WOOF, dekat Cairo, next month. Next month, okay. So she has actively participated in many workshops and training on remote sensing and GIS application in urban planning, including represent the countries a few times in United Nations workshop and symposium on space technology and geospatial organized by United Nations Outer Space Office in Russia, Belarus, China, and Vietnam. She have received numbers of recognitions for his research publication from IIUM as well as at international level, such as Gold Medal Award for developing a virtual system in 2020, Silver Medal or Digital Village, also in the same year, and highest citation of in Index Journal Award for Kulliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design, also in 2020. She's also receiving Outstanding Woman in Humanities and Social Sciences, Major Area of Study Remote Sensing from Venice International Foundation in 2019, and also in the same year, she received Elsevier Recognition Reviewers from Elsevier's. Ladies and gentlemen, following her works, experience, expertise, and passion for remote sensing and GIS application in urban planning, among consultancy work that she involved, such as she involved in the research and consultancy that amounted more than 3 million from 2017 to 2024 with her work and experience expertise on especially GIS application and remote sensing in urban planning. Ladies and gentlemen, not to forget also her contribution on or to the community. For a community engagement project led by Professor Dr. Zaila, it is likely focused on urban planning, sustainable development, and geospatial technologies that contribute to various community targets. Given her expertise in this area, her recent community project on Sungai Lembing with URP department members will be presented, as I did mention just now, in Urban World Forum in Cairo next month. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, as a Dean of Kulliyyah of Architecture and Environmental Design, I'm honored to have such individual like Professor Town Planner Geospatial Dr. Nur Zailawati binti Haji Muhammad Nur as a member of our faculty. And with that privilege, now I call upon her to deliver her lecture. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We have arrived at the highlight and most exciting part of the event. With great pleasure, please welcome our eminent speaker, Professor TPR Geospatial Dr. Nur Zailawati binti Haji Muhammad Nur, to deliver her lecture entitled Future Geospatial Technologies in Urban Planning. Most welcome.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and very good morning to all the guests. Actually, I would not spell it one by one because our dean is already list out all the actually guests in online and also in physical. But I think the one words that which is I would like to say that thank you very much, and then I really appreciate actually your support, not only for today but also throughout all the years that I have been involved either in IIUM or even in my career. So actually perhaps I would like to add on other than has been listed just now. We also have the representative also from the fire department of the Malaysia. So I saw one of the guests actually online. So, and then perhaps for those who are not spell out the name, so you know that I'm really appreciate all those things that which is makes me here today. So Alhamdulillah. So thanks to Allah, actually giving me one more day that which is give me a breath today. So then I have the opportunity to be here, and then at least to share something that which is I'm fighting for, or perhaps actually what I'm actually love to do. So that which is maybe I was sharing a few things that which is related. So actually for today, future geospatial technologies in urban planning is the one part. I'm thinking when the Kulliyyah is actually asked me to give the title. So actually I have a lot of titles. So then I think I just maybe perhaps I will choose one topic that which is this topic will be relevant for coming years. So perhaps so then I will come this year so that I will give hoping that this topic and also the content will give some kind of view to those who are feeling that this is useful for all of you. So then because it's talking about the futures, all right. So and then yeah, as mentioned by our dean, our beloved dean. So actually I'm starting my career since I decided to leave my jobs in the last 2004, and then I went to UTM, and then I stating that, okay, I want to fight that. I want to expand this geospatial to urban planning. So because everybody is talking about the geospatial during that time, so as we know that also in terms of the chronology, so the expansion of the development of the geospatial is actually is really widespread on the last 2000. So I think the right time for me, but actually until today there are about more than 10 years. So I'm happy. I'm happy because everybody is actually is aware and also notice about the geospatial. Everybody is actually is claiming that they are expert, and that I'm really happy. So I'm very positive that which is this kind of the knowledge can be expanded to all the areas, and then can be useful to all the areas. Actually, it's not only for urban planning. Okay. So actually, when we're talking about the geospatial in urban planning, so we are always perhaps feeling that, okay, we wake up in the morning and then we need to have a fresh air, or and then we don't want to get stuck in the jam, or perhaps we are also actually like to have all the facilities. So this is actually the combination, or the system that which is creating for us for the people, that which is to fulfill all the our basic needs. So there are, so if we're looking at this picture, so I think everybody is feeling, oh, I would like to be here, and then I would like our country something like this, or and then we can walk everywhere, so we very safe. So then who is actually beside that? So who is actually is involved in creating this? So urban planners is the one. So I'm not denying that actually when we're talking about the constructing one city, the one town, so it will be involved not only urban planners, but we also involve the landscape architect, or we also involve the architect, the design, the building. But the most important thing, how to ensure the arranging of the building, to ensure that industrial area, perhaps not close to your home, your house, is task of the urban planners. So meaning, and the other scenario also, perhaps the congestions that which is happen when all the vehicles are using the same roads has been designed, also is the task of the town planner to resolve it. Okay, so I think the urban planners is the one of the most significant roles that which is also build and also develop the cities. So other than the others professions. So I think as we know now, the urbanization is going up, and then the growth of the population become more bigger. So we expect that there are more cities is coming for the coming new years. Meaning that we are required more town planners or urban planners, and then their kind of the responsibility also is quite challenging for the coming years. All right. So actually, when we want to have the kind of the cities, a very good city, the sustainable cities, or many kind of city that makes you comfortable to live there, so then perhaps you need some tools. You need some tools that which is give you some kind of the very fast decisions, and then actually very cost reduce the costing, and then give the accurate decision. So because I think we actually perhaps all of us having some experience when go to the local authority, or perhaps when we want to apply for any development approval. So then there are I think the times constraint that to approve all those things. So I think we need some kind of tools to make sure that we will get a very accurate decision, and also the fast decisions that actually to give the benefit for the people who are we plan. So I think according to this, so geospatial is the one of the tools. So I can consider, I try to define the geospatial in the context that layman, so that it will not be very technical. But the geospatial it was something that having the locations, and then of course it's also have the time frame. So then I think, for example, Google Maps, or maybe Waze. I think that's the a very simple example that can be used, that which is give you a directions. So where is the location you are looking for? So I think everybody right now are using that kind of the simple example that I have just given just now. But in the context of the geospatial, in the technical per se, so you can see the geospatial is it will be involved so many things. So they are using the technical people that which is using the geospatial. So they will use the GIS, they will use the remote sensing, they will use the, I think right now we have the recent trend on AI, and then we have the IoT, we have the blockchain, we have the digital twin. So there are so many things that which is can be embedded into the geospatial base, and then it can be geospatial. Okay, so we heard about AI. So I think perhaps AI has been very common, or can be related to the engineering or something that not related to the built environment. But I think right now with the advance of the technology of the geospatial, so we can manipulate all these kind of the data. So then we can put it all together and then make it, the AI can be resolve a thing in the certain scenarios that which is involve the built environment. Okay. All right. So actually, as I just mentioned earlier, so the history of the chronology, perhaps in terms of the how the evolution of the geospatial in this country. So perhaps on the 1973, it was started from the during the British is ruling our countries. So then they have how they actually apply the geospatial approach into our departments, or certain departments for the purpose of their interest. But I think we are not focusing on that. The thing is actually the continuation of that kind of the application actually give us a very benefit for all of us. So meaning that starting from the surveyor, perhaps on the last 1973, that which is British actually not saying force them, but actually perhaps encourage instruct them to actually explore all the new land. So then they need to actually measure and then do some kind of the measurement to actually for their purpose. So then from the surveyor, and then we have the Department of Mapping and everything, so they are actually mapping for that purpose. But what I want to highlight here, the expansion of the geospatial in urban planning, because urban planning also was started very earlier with I think the sanitary board that was established in KL or Penang, if I'm not mistaken. So then, actually, in terms of the planning in Malaysia, also they are have a very structured. So meaning that the geospatial itself actually leverage what we have in this country. So which is on the last early 1980, if not mistaken. So they just started to do some basic mappings in terms of for the roads, transportation networks, and also land use, and also zoning. So that the kind of the purpose of we can tally it with the development of Malaysia itself, that which is during that time the new cities and also town based on the tin mining is already growth. So then the use of the geospatial during that time only for the purpose of the needs during that time. And then as I mentioned also, 2000 is actually the very big time in terms of the GIS, the widespread of the GIS. So I think Malaysia is actually has been well known with the GIS at first, because although the satellite, the first satellite, Landsat satellite on 1972 was being launched, but it's still yet to come here, but I think the survey department already have the area mapping or area photo that which is purposely for the mapping the area. So if we relate to the urban issues, so I think we have a lot of the urban issues that which is related to the environment that which is we have right now. So not only urban, actually also the regional area that which is we have a problem with the clean water, and then we have pollutions on air, odor, and also noise, and inequality, housing, congestions, so the traffic jam, so the crime. We are able to actually need to see in the context of the urban planning. Urban planning is actually is doing everything. Perhaps some certain professions, so they are looking at this aspect only. But for the urban planners, we need to know everything. So in the context of the environment, in the context of the physical, in the context of the social, in the context also in economy aspect. So this is the applications that which is right now that has been actually used in urban planning. So which is we are involved the kind of the geospatial that which is involved at the stage of the data development, that which is most of the data, because we, in urban planning, when we want to make the decision, so we need to have a very big data. So data need to be very vast. So there's so many data. So then we will be able to analyze it, and then further we will be able to summarize it and then come up with the decision based on that. We also involved with the data mapping. So mapping meaning that we are mapping all those types of the data, data analysis, and also data modeling. Data modeling is actually for the purpose to predictions. The planners, so we are planning forward. We are planning ahead. So meaning that we need to have some kind of the mechanism how to actually predict what happened in the future. So then the GIS data or the geospatial approach is the one of the a good approach for us actually. Okay, because they are able, geospatial is actually the most important thing. Geospatial is able to answer where is the locations. And then it's really important for us urban planners to know the locations. We just not stating that this problem happened here, happened here, happened here. No, because we need locations. So when we're talking about the location, so of course we need to put it on the map and then able to see in the context of the 2D mapping or 3D mapping. So it's depend for the actually the purpose. All right. So for the future, actually, we are looking for the cities more livable, more resilience, more modernizations, and more sustainable. So everybody actually, I think in this room or although in the online platforms, I think all over the world want to live in the very good city, a very comfortable city that which is go out from your house, so then you feel very comfortable to go to the office without any stress, and then when you come back you don't feel that so terrified that because the security is okay, so then you also get a very good line for internet, so even you get all the facilities over there. So we are looking forward for this one. Okay, so we don't want to live in the area that which is very negative vibes actually. So because that's why everybody, if we have a time, so we will go to the some place that we will able to healing, for example. So then the purpose or the future of the planning is actually we want to provide the kind of the environment that giving the very good vibe for us. Most of the money to go somewhere that which is having that kind of the vibe sense. So and then we're hoping that we will be able to have it in our cities or in our house, surrounding of our house. All right. Okay. So talking about this one, what we hope for the future in terms of the geospatial technologies, I think right now we are having the technology in terms, the technology is very fast. So then looking at the what we want and then what we have, so actually we are I will come out that I have seen that there are some trend actually for the coming futures. So in terms of the how the blockchain for the data security, edge computing and distributed geospatial platforms. And the other focus, perhaps, it will focusing more on the sustainable developments, or smart transportation and mobility, and resilient urban design. Urban design meaning that in the bracket it was space of the urban. Okay. So when we're talking about the real-time integrations, so it's about the IoT and smart cities. We already have the smart cities right now. So I think everybody is doing the smart cities, including the planners. So some is focusing about the infrastructure, and then some is focusing about design, and then some is focusing about the technologies. But the thing is, actually when we're putting up that kind of the perspective into the plannings, it's actually embedded or integrating the kind of the process of the IoT into the smart city itself. So right now when we're talking about the real time, everybody is actually required the real time. So perhaps in the previous year, I think since I was last 10 or 15 years ago, so that which is the real-time data is a bit difficult. So I think right now we already have all the apps that which is enable us to actually use that apps, and then we can have the real-time data. So meaning that the real-time data is meaning that the data is actually is on the time that you are browsing. Okay, so planning in the geospatial in urban planning, so it's talking about the how the data can be supplied for the purpose on the real-time data. Previously, we are relying on the satellite data. As we know that the satellite data is actually they have the temporal or the frequency. So every each of the satellite has been developed based on their rotations. So and then their purpose. So either that satellite is purposely for the observations, for the monitoring, or for the broadcast. I think that's the one of the classification. And then the other thing is actually the frequent they are actually he actually surround the Earth in the same. Previously they have 16 days. Sentinel, for example, they have 15 days. So and then they will take a same picture another 15 days. But the Sentinel 2B, actually they can take the same picture in the 10 days, for example. Okay, so and then not only that, there are also advanced in terms of the satellite itself. That which is most of the satellite has been developed right now. Also, they try to at least the frequency of the rotations become more in 1 day or 2 days. But they will put the satellite itself in the certain orbit that they ensure that the using that kind of the orbit, so they will do the rotation in very fast way. Okay. So, but that's about the satellite data that I think for those who are in this field know that is a little bit expensive to get that data. And then of course we are also the satellite. Even we have the history that we have a few satellites before. Until today we don't have our own data from our satellite. Okay. The other option is actually using the drones. Drone also can be supply you the data in real time. So I think it's really important, especially if you want to do the mapping that which is required you a decision for the real time. Because for example, the incidents doesn't require you for 1 week to give a decisions. So perhaps it's only 1 day. So they want to have that kind of the data. So I think right now the latest technology is actually drone. So you can take the picture from the drone, and then you will be able to analyze it a little bit, the decisions, and also synthesize it, and then you will come with some certain decision for that one. So I think that's the kind of the real-time aspect that we are talking about. So it's not very detailed in terms of because when we talking a drone, so it will be something related that a kind of the sensor. So they have a sensor for the multispectral, they have the panchromatic, so they have only RGB, or otherwise they also have the LiDAR. So the LiDAR is the one of the not latest technology, but the very advanced technology that will very useful to be used in urban planning or even a built environment. All right. Okay, so this is kind of the example. This is the at 2024, because when we're talking about the urban planning, so we are using most of the satellite is actually for the purpose to resolve any issues. So we are always use world view, Pleiades, and also SkySat, so for the purpose of to tackle certain area in urban area. And then Himawari is more on the meteorological satellite, and also Sentinel. So I not included here Landsat 9. So Sentinel 2 and 2B, and also the Landsat 9 is freely accessible. So it's free. And then the rest you should pay a little bit. And then I think it takes time also. But for those who are doing the research, so perhaps they are very familiar for this one. So we are using the Sentinel, and then we use the Landsat data for many kind of to tackle the urban sprawl, to tackle something that related to the urban heat. So this is the kind of the application that we have used, and there are so many actually application can be used for the purpose in using the free data source, right? What we have now. Okay, and then the second one is AI and predictive analysis. So as we know right now, AI, so artificial intelligence. So actually, I'm not so sure either is really intelligence or not. But we are the user must be very intelligent, because AI is following your instructions. So you need to very fluent how to instruct the AI. So I think it's similar like what you have in the free AI right now, that which is you ask ChatGPT, for example, who is the dean for the KAED? So ChatGPT will answer that. But if you want to know more, so you must prompt it properly. So who is exactly the dean of KAED? So the ChatGPT will give you more. So this is the example lah. Okay. So same goes to this one. So goes to this one. If you use the AI, it's actually embedded. You cannot use it alone, because the principle of the geospatial is actually you have the data manipulations. So meaning that perhaps the AI can be used to actually to predict which the fast route to go to that area. So then you can put it some kind of the formula, and then you can put in the modeling. So then it will show you, it will pick up the lane or the route that which is faster for you to go there. So and then it's very useful for many things. For example, I think previously we had done doing the for the emergency response, that which is we are manipulating the data and then do the modeling, and then we are creating some model that which is able to find the fastest route to go to for the fire vehicle to get to the incident area. So I think that's the one of the example. And then I also include here the best AI tools, so that which is for the urban planning. There are 10 tools that which is the student able to explore. Okay, able to explore. All right, crowdsourcing, and also crowdsourcing is actually is the one of the famous methods that which is in urban planning. We need to have, as I mentioned, we need to have a very big data. We need to have a lot of data, so then it will assist us to give the decision and also justify the decisions. So and then one of the most costing, the part of very costly is actually collecting the data. Collecting the data, so meaning that you need to set up the database, and then of course you need to make sure the database is correct, and then of course you need to verify it, and then you need to go to the site and then collect all the data. You need to do the verification, observation and everything, and then you go to come back to the office and then put it all in the system. But with the crowdsourcing, actually the crowdsourcing method, so you will get, because this is the contribution from the public. So you just imagine how many billions we have in the world. So we just launch some kind of the apps, or maybe some kind of the system that which is that everybody will be able to contribute the informations to that system. So then we have a lot of the data. So meaning that our tasks become more easier, because we just need to do the verification only. So but the task of the collecting the data is actually has been conducted by the people or the user outside. So they just perhaps press their button on their computer or their handphone, so then put it some kind of the information, so that it will be very useful for us. Okay. So and then this is the kind of the also a bit important in the planning, because we have the some session that which is on the participations, public participation, and also participatory, that which is we are planning for the people, so meaning that we need to get feedback from the people. So they will give some kind of the feedback, so then it will be called in the system, and then it's easier for us. Okay. And then another thing, augmented reality and also virtual reality. So there are two ada a bit different sikit lah. So in terms of this is the VR, and then this is the AR. VR actually you will use the kind of the Googles, and then you based on the some application that you set up. So you want to have the smart city, and then you will be able to see it from the Googles. But for the AR, is actually you will use some kind of the device, something like a tablet. So then there will be some apps over there, and then you can see, okay, this is the very clear land. So perhaps you want to have some kind of the residential area, very calm residential area over there, and then you just put it there, and then it will create it for you. So it's very useful for us, because other than you sketch or drawing, so then because sketch and drawing is actually is conventional application. But the thing is, when you want to erase or you want to revise or amend it, so then it will take us a time. So for this one, you just, okay, I don't like this one, and then okay, I see the impact on this one, so that then I try to modify it or amend it properly. Okay, so 3D GIS and digital twins. So I also expect that it will be become very interesting in the future, that which is right now, because most of the urban planning will be related to the planning building. So then of course in the building itself, when it relate to the urban design or something that relate to the representing what you have on the site, so then it will be good if in the 3D. Okay, and then the digital twin is actually the structure that which representative that which is, for example, you have so many data that, for example, in this Kulliyyah, so then you have the a few units, and then actually that's that kind of for the traditional way that you are having all the data according to your department or the units. But using this kind of the digital twin, so there will be some platform that which is you will be able to integrate all of this and then creating the system for KAED, for example. So this is the kind of the what we call digital city. So I think right now every city that the modern city, if I'm not mistaken, the Iskandar Putri already have the plan to have their own digital twin. So meaning that they are compiling all the data, and then this data is actually very useful. So perhaps for the future, so they already have a very sufficient data, so they don't rely on the other sources. So and then they're able to manage their own planning for their areas. So it was something like you able to do it in very fast way. Okay. So and then I'm expect this also can be the one will be focused for the coming years. All right, and then another thing on the blockchain. Blockchain will be related to the security and also related data confinement, meaning that some of the data in the planning or even in other certain fields that actually relate to the security. So meaning you don't need to actually to publish to the public, for example, the landlord, for example, or the detail of the ownerships. So you just keep it for the purpose of for the internal. So then having this kind of the embed the blockchain into the geospatial and also the planning also is very useful. So I see this a little bit slow perhaps, but it will become more popular for the coming 5 years or another 10 years, because we are talking about the security. Okay, and edge computing and also distributed geospatial platform, that which is decentralized data processing, because right now we have the data. We still haven't be able to settle all the issues related to the data. So even there are some kind of the global intention that which is okay, there's no data barrier, so you need to share the data to all of us, to everybody. Every agency need to actually having a very good way to to distribute all the data. So then meaning you don't need to buy the data from the agencies and then make it your data, and then after that, you feel that I bought this data, so you cannot have it personal for freely. So then I will sell also this data. So actually it cannot be happen. Because to expand the geospatial, so then we need to do. Yeah, I think the barrier, we need to remove all the barriers in terms of the data. But of course, when we want to remove the barrier of the data, so then I think the blockchain approach is the one of the kind of a good approach to embed all together to make sure that this kind of the successful. And the other things is interoperability of platforms. So I think right now, so perhaps we are having a little bit difficulties, especially in built environment, for example. So we have in urban planning, we have the more GIS and also remote sensing database or the software. So we are using the processing, but the thing is when it comes to do the 3D, for example, so we need to do Revit. So I think Revit, if you use some kind of the point cloud data, that which is from the LiDAR or from the, I think drone also can produce the point cloud data. But the thing is that kind of the for me it's difficult lah, difficult. So meaning that we need to have we need to resolve the issue interoperability. Interoperability meaning that you need to make sure that all the software can be same language. So meaning that if you want to do the 3D, so then you can embed the GIS software, the drawing software, the sketching software all together. Because right now this is the purpose of the planners. Because planners also, I just informed to you that we need the 3D and everything. So I think we have that kind of the constraint right now. So then we need to actually to ensure that all the must be in the very similar language, that ensure that all the data can be read it and then come out with a very good output. Okay. All right. Okay, other than that kind of that technologies that I has mentioned just now, I think there are 7 that which is I expect that will become more popular for the coming years. So then the other things, perhaps all those technologies will be embedded and then to achieve certain things in the plannings, that which is on the sustainable and also to tackling the climate resilience. So I think the issues on the sustainable development. So when we're talking about the sustainable development, there are 3 things that which is we need to see the physical, we need to see the social, and also we need to see the economy. So meaning that under that kind of the general division, so then we need to have a very specific. So for example, social, so then we need to see the issue on aging people, or citizen, or youth citizen, or something that related to the social economy, so everything. So and then the combinations and mitigating all these things will ensure the area or is sustainable. Okay, and then the other things, of course, the climate resilience. Climate resilience right now we are not, because it happened at global, some at the local we able to have some kind of the mitigation, but still the impact from the global, for example the global warming and also the sea level rise. So and then I think this is the actually that which is not able to be controlled at the local level. So then what we do is actually we need to have some kind of the mechanism how to control it, and then how to predict it, how to model it, and then to ensure that we are really resilient to actually handle this kind of issues. Okay. And then the other things, smart transportation. So actually this is also one of the aspect that which is really important in urban planning, because the desire of the people to have their own vehicles and then also supporting their own private vehicles. Although we are providing many plans that related to the public transportation, sometimes we are not actually blaming the peoples, but also perhaps it's also another issues that related to the government policies, or maybe the local policies or international policies that which is may happen that end up everybody is using their own vehicles. So then this kind of the issues we need to tackle it, so ensure that at least there are some kind of the integrated platforms that able to use to resolve this thing. Okay, resilient urban design, and also the space that actually is relating the 3D and then everything that related to that. Health and also urban environment. Geospatial data will help planners design healthier cities by analyzing. So as I mentioned earlier, there is a lot of the techniques. So when we're talking about the, for example, data analysis, there is a lot of techniques that you can use, and also you can manipulate using so many data, so many technologies to ensure that you will be able to get the result. So I will not list all these things lah, but the thing is, I think when you're practicing it, so you know it actually, this is a very powerful tools actually when it used in the correct way. Okay. Okay, challenges. Challenges is more on the, if we see here, so there is a lot of challenges actually. So in terms of the data availability and also the quality, so that's why the crowdsourcing is the one of the approach how to mitigate it. integration with the existing system. So meaning that is about the interoperability that I've mentioned just now. So the stakeholder engagement and decision making. So sometimes there are no same language among the decision makers, because when we want to create the city, so then it will involve so many stakeholders and also decision makers. So if you have the same language for all the decision makers, so it's easy to create the sustainable or anything that you want in the future. But if in the one of the decision makers is not actually in line with what you have, so we will have the problems. So we need to resolve that. Regulatory and also policy barriers. So this is also the one of the risk and also challenge, because right now I think Malaysia is looking forward. So I'm hoping that for the coming 10 years, which is I already retired perhaps. So and then and then I'm hoping that everything can be cleared can be cleared. All right. So this is actually the old issues that which is not able to be resolved until now. Okay. So real-time data integrations. So I think we had a way forward over there. The scalability meaning that the scales of our planning development, because as we know, planning is actually will be at the very large scale until the small scale. So the large scale can be a country. So then the requirement of the data, so perhaps it can more bigger, and then we need more information related to that. Okay, and then interdisciplinary collaborations. So I think right now I am in the effort also to collaborate all the kind of fields, various fields, to at least know what are the importance and also what are the geospatial can be useful for their field. So Alhamdulillah, I think right now we have collaborated with the engineers, with the sociologists and IT, so and then also law. So I think I'm happy. I'm happy because at least they know something, how useful the geospatial is. All right, and then the data privacy concern. So it will be related to the stakeholder engagement and also the regulatory and policies. So data privacy, so is something that I mentioned just now, and also the technical expertise. So I think technical expertise can be resolved for the coming 5 years or 10 years, because I think right now everybody is noticed about the geospatial and then how it's useful. Although they just fly the drone for their kenduri kawin, but the thing is they actually know what are the purpose of flying the drone, and then what are the restrictions when you're flying the drone. So I think it's very good, actually good development on that. Okay, so a way forward. So we just talk about the technologies and also the challenge and how it's actually is very significant to urban planning. So right now, a way forward is actually, I just want to share a way forward of my career perhaps. So then, Alhamdulillah, until today, because what I'm actually try to achieve is already noticeable. So my ambition from the beginning, I involved and start to join the remote sensing at the master level, so that which is I want to expand this kind of the geospatial to the urban planning. So because there is a lot of the applications and also a scenario that we can resolve using the geospatial. So all right, so I may share in terms of what I'm doing until I'm retired, perhaps. So I have another 14 years. Yes, if my life longer lah. If my life longer, but if not, I'm happy actually. I'm happy right now. So everybody is noticed about it. So actually, this is I'm sharing a few projects, the significant projects and also research that I've done. So this is actually that I have lead the project for the bomba Malaysia, the priority in Malaysia. So we developed this kind of the system for the emergency response. And then it's cover all this thing. It's very tired actually. So Dr. Iliani, our HOD, is the one of the team, and also Prof. Alias over there. So she knows that, very interesting because we are exploring the new things. So then finally we got give to the community what we have actually. And then the other things we are also developed the apps for the Ailulakas. So it's a sudden idea that which is came out during the COVID-19, that which is our team not able to go to the site, and then but we need to proceed for the to get the information from the all the villages in the royal town in Pekan. So I think Dr. Khalila and also Dr. Hanis, Dr. Iliani, Pro Alias was there with us. So Alhamdulillah, so this is one of also our starting up how to look this kind of the geospatial approach can be benefit the villages and also the community. And then okay, this is using the phone. This is the kind of the crowdsourcing also. It's very easy because you're able to get 1,000 something actually, and then actually it has been covered all the villages in that area. So it's good result. So hoping that anyone that want to have this kind of visual survey applications, or perhaps you want to expand, so then you can do it. So you can have the idea. I have no objection. I have no reservations. So if you want to get this kind of the idea, so I'm happy for that. Okay, all right. And then this thing is actually okay. This one, the industrial impact that we are using the drone, the sniffer drone, that which is the drone is actually carry the sensor that which is able to detect the pollutions in the industrial area. So they carry five sensor that which is embedded all together, built in the nitrogen, the carbon dioxide, and then the rest of it I cannot remember. This is actually the result, which is showing all those things. So I think this is actually a collaboration with the UTM, with my beloved supervisor, Prof. Mazlan. He's not there. He's not here today. Okay. All right. And then this one is actually one of the project that we are using. We are using the TLS, terrestrial laser scanning, and also the mobile laser scanning, that which is actually for the purpose we are creating the 3D for the Istana in Kelantan. I cannot remember what Istana is, but one of the Istana at the middle of the Kota Baru area. So we actually have permitted to actually enter the Istana, and then we done the laser scanning all those building, and then came out with the using this one for the purpose of the planning related to the royal town in Malaysia. Okay, and then this one actually symmetry pun I buat juga. So this is actually the life to death, living to death actually research. So this is one also for the symmetry that we assist MAIPS, Perlis, actually to develop their database to ensure, and also in the same time also we are calculating. We try to assist because they have some kind of the problem of a supply of land, the wakaf land to be the symmetry. So then they ask us to at least do the estimations, how many actually bodies can or burial plot can be in a 1 acre. So then we are using the drone data, and then we using the object oriented approach, and then we already came out with this all this bulk the burial plot, and then we count on it, and then we got the 700 lots per acre. So actually based on the very standard lah. So I think the apa dia panggil lubang kubur dia punya graveyard. Yeah, graveyard too is actually is the similar. So we are using that kind of the formula, and then we do the modeling and also estimating for the purpose of the 1 acre. Okay, so we are happy also. We assist at least. And then this one actually the studying on the social aspect, social economic aspect, that which is we are mapping the ethnicity in Kuala Lumpur. So using the geospatial data also. So we are able to differentiate the Chinese, the Malay, and then we are able to locate where is actually the concentration of this ethnicity. So then it's actually is very helpful for us to be used in our study. And then I think right now this is the something that I'm very interested. So which is managing or developing the databases. So we have more than 60 layers actually, and then every each of the layers they have so many attributes that you need to fill up. So we are developing this for most of our local plans. I think right now we are doing for the JB and BJB. So and then I'm very happy actually release the stress. So because arranging the data. So but Dr. Ilyani will fight for the analysis. She is doing the analysis. So then we need for the developing the data, we need somebody that very organized. So if not, the data is everywhere, because data will be go there, and then you can name it in the one, and then suddenly you see, oh, this is my last file, and then after that you will give up. Okay, I'm happy to do this. All right, and then this is actually UNESCO, and also Japan Space, and UPM also, UKM. Ni Dr. Dah tak ingat nama dia. So we are doing and helping the Japan space system and also UNESCO in terms of the collecting the data using the geospatial approach to actually supply the data into the system that which is cover the Vietnam's, Malaysia, Indonesia, and also Thailand. So there are a few countries that which is integrated, which is in these studies. So then provide the actually for the UNESCO purposes to mitigating the plastic waste in Asian. Okay, and then this one, our last 2 years actually, we are thinking about the Sing City. This is the Timbus Loco. So until now, we still have the relationship with them. So this is our visit to Timbus Loco, that which is having the Sing City problems, that which is previously was the paddy field, and then the settlement. So right now they are living in the water, meaning that's on the water. Okay. So this is also our team to be in the Cairo next month, inshallah. And then this one is actually building footprint project. So I think thank you also Ajir SM, Pro Rashid for this one. So giving me the opportunity. So we are actually conducting a few training. So not only the drone training, but also sometimes we also giving the software trainings. Okay. Okay, then according to that, so what I'm looking forward is actually in our pipeline actually we want to tackling the urbanization issues. So there will be many teams lah. So members will be involved that which is want to tackling in terms of the urban sprawl, 3D modeling that related to urban fabric, spatial data development, and also data management. So I think right now we are exploring the urban sprawl data that using satellite image for the night mode. I think previously we are actually using only the day mode, so which is you'll be able to collect it from the free software, free open data. But right now we are using the night data. Night data, you can have the lighting. You will be able to predict the kind of the sprawl movement based on the lighting. Okay, and then the lighting is not able to visually see, because you need to process it. Based on the processing, so then you will be able to actually estimate the expansion of the urban area. Okay, climate change. So we are perhaps we're focusing on the climate change issue and also the physical planning, which is it will be related to the Sing cities. So right now, although into 2050, so all rumors stating that Malaysia, some part of Malaysia will be sank, but the thing is there is no empirical evidence that stating, or there is no recent studies that related to the proof that that area will be sank. So then this is one of my effort lah. So I think I would welcome everybody also to do this thing also. So then the more is merrier. So perhaps you can see another perspective also. The light pollutions. So the light pollution is also the common issues that related to the urbanizations. So we try explore on that, and then disaster prediction. So I think this is related to the flash floods and also the sinkhole. Not really my interest, but the thing is perhaps the underground mapping utility is the related more to the geospatial, and then it will be justify why the sinkhole is happened. So maybe anyone that which is interested, so you can go on to do that kind of that, and also data management. And then I think the last one. So I want to dedicate my life after getting everything. So I want to dedicate my life to give back to the community and also nurturing the students, nurturing the all the new generations. That importance of this knowledge. So hoping that I will get some reward after that. Yeah, of course. Try to expand also the expertise and everything, and sharing the knowledge, and of course the nurturing the new generation. The most important thing that which is we'll be able to actually contribute to the Rahmatan lil Alamin. So hoping that I think that's the kind of the my conclusions. So hoping that's questions. All right. Okay, just joking. Okay, I think that's all from me. So thank you very much. Also, again, all the support and everything. I cannot spell all your names, but you know that you know who you are. I appreciate everybody has come to my life, either bad or good.
Thank you for the eye-opening lecture, Prof. TPR Geospatial Dr. Nurzailawati. We can't help but to feel closely engaged with the points that you have raised up in your presentation.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Again, okay. Assalamualaikum dan thank you very much, Prof. Zaila. I think you have explained to us a very good scope or whatever technology available for GIS, AI, whatever. I think in the future, I believe that we cannot run away from military technology that using all this technology. Now people thinking about drone is about attacking other country, but I'm not talking about using this technology for that purpose, but also for defending our countries. I think in the future, whether we like it or not, technology that we learn here can be used for, I think most of the technology come from military purpose, right, in the beginning, but it's suddenly change to for benefit of humanity. But how this can be looked at by helping a country not to attack people, but to save our country from any other technologies might be harmful to our community. We have built our city, very nice city, very nice living conditions. Suddenly people misuse this technology. So is there any red line that we have to draw using this technology for different purpose? So maybe in the future, we have to look into this as well, in terms of GIS, in terms of technology that we develop here, and can be used for our own good. I know that we try to have all this for the benefit of humanity, creating a better living environment, but there will come and this will be misused or used for different purpose. I think that's just your overview because you're talking about the future. It could be in line with that.
Okay, I think that's a good question. Thank you, Dr. Shafi'i. So I think in terms of the security, so I just, as I mentioned earlier in one of my slides, in terms of data privacy and also the blockchain methods. So I think perhaps other than we are not having the no data barrier for all the data that which is everybody can be accessible for the data. So perhaps we also have some kind of the policy that which is some of the data need to be considered as the confidential. So especially I think right now our country also have the, for example, sasaran penting, for example. So I think each of the, so KDN, Kementerian Dalam Negeri, if I'm not mistaken, so and then some of the ministry, they have the sasaran penting for each of the area in Malaysia. So I think that kind of the area that which is we consider having a very significant in terms of the to ensure there is no encroachment into that area or perhaps into that data. So perhaps we should have some kind of the policies or regulation that which is imposed on this one. I think as of now we already have all the list for the sasaran penting, but the thing is I'm not so sure either it was in the main database that which is the ministry that who guardian this data. And then the other things also at the country level, so we should have a very clear responsibility by which ministry actually is responsible for this thing. So I think right now each of the agencies is actually claiming on doing their silos, although there are some effort, but it's still not yet to be explored, but something that which is not be implemented officially. So I think this is something that which is the sign and also maybe the warn to the country that which is okay, not only for those who have in this country, but also for those who are actually entering this country. So I think right now everybody can see KLCC from US, from Africa, so then we hope that there are some kind of the mechanism that can be imposed to at least securing certain data or places that which is related to the national security. Okay, all right. Thank you.
Any more questions from students maybe? Or any other member? Yes, please, Prof.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Johari from University Putra Malaysia. Prof, thank you for your very useful speech this morning. And I really happy to see how you want to go way forward with your research and career in the future. Well, Prof, I actually don't have a questions. It's rather asking or seeking your opinion on the use of technology like GIS, remote sensing, AI, IoT, you name it. Before seeking your opinion, I would like to share, prevention is better than cure. Now, when we look at our country, every year we are facing problems of, for example, flash flood, river pollutions, which cause water disruptions, and etc. Now, in your opinion, Prof, how can the country might use all the listed technology in preventing, not curing the issue, but rather preventing it for the sake of, benefiting the public? What went wrong with our country, perhaps? So every year we heard of these flash floods, etc., keep occurring as if like none of the ministry or maybe departments are looking into this technology in preventing those issues. Well, perhaps what is your opinion, Prof? Thank you.
All right, thank you, the Dean of Architecture, Dr. Johari. So I think it's also very interesting question that which is I have a lot of answer actually. So because when we see this kind of the responding to the questions, so when we actually facing some certain disaster, for example the flash floods. So actually we when it's related to the geospatial, I think most of us will think that okay, why this actually flash flood is not resolved until now. So then we have a lot of the geospatialists, we have a lot of the expertise, we have a lot of the plans, we have a lot of the projects that until now is not resolved. What I'm actually thinking that there are some kind of maybe we are lacking for the certain part that which is the collaborations. I think in terms of the geospatial. Sometimes, because we need to integrate to each other, the expertise must be all together. The expertise must be complement each other and then appreciate each other. So if you think that you are expert on this, and then, because for example, sinkhole or flash floods, if perhaps we want to blame that, oh, because of the drainage, because of the sinkhole, maybe because of the engineer, for example. But the thing is, or the geologist, but the thing is, when it comes to the factors happen actually, will be integrate all the various field. So meaning sinkhole, for example, or flash floods. So what makes the drainage is not working properly? And then why during the rainy season, so then the water rainfall down, and then this drain not able to catch all the water and then make it flash flood. So then you just refer for, it must be something that which is integrating. So because maybe this is based on my experience lah. So I just observe. So when it comes to this kind of the issue, so perhaps okay, sinkhole geologists. But what happened to maybe planners pun sama, need to responsible also. Maybe landscape pun sama. Why you putting all the hardscape over there dengan dia punya weightage and then everything. So I think it's everything. Even the architect also. Kena juga architect. So the thing is we need to cooperate. We need to cooperate. So so this is the thing. And then when it relates to all the technologies that I listed just now, so I think that technologies is actually can be manipulated. So we cannot say, okay, AI is actually the good approach for this and then that one. But the thing is, we need all together, sit down all together and then think about it. So and then sometimes I don't want to say sometimes the interference in terms of the decision. Sometimes you have some kind of the interest for that things and then led to the failure of the prevention sometimes. For me lah, so I don't think that we want to blame for the technologies. Technologies you can manipulate. You must be clever than the technologies. The technologies is only the tools. If the geospatial is considered as a knife, so you as the planner or you are the landscape, so you need to use the knife for the purpose, for your output. So meaning that, for example, the knife for the chef, so at the end, he can contribute a good dishes for us. So you cannot claim that this tool is only for you. So then you need to cooperate to resolve this thing. So I think I hope that I actually giving the right view for this, other than the if we are comparing in terms of the how to prevent this kind of the disaster. So of course we need to have the kind of the mechanism to predict, to do the modeling and then predict what is happened. I'm not saying that all the what we works right now is useless, but the thing is there are so many research actually can be a very good research that using the kind of the modelings and also the predictions. But the thing is, sometimes when you do the prediction, if you are not able to integrate with the other areas, so then you will not know. Some engineers, they didn't know what is actually makes the flash flood happen or the drainage is clogging. So planners perhaps know, so then they need work all together. So I think that's the thing lah. Okay, thank you, Doctor.
Can I answer that question?
Oh, architect.
Yeah, from my perspective. Okay,
Alright.
I'm one of the panel for NAPREG and other organization. There are many research done regarding flash flood. For example, in Kuala Lumpur, why we have flash flood occur very quickly because of the development. When we look at the number of roof, the roof will cater all the water. Then the water will go to the gutter, then through the rainwater, through the drain, to the river. So we don't have enough land for the rainwater to go through, absorb. I agree with Prof. Norzaila. So due to development, there are many hardscape and other things, you know. So this may encourage the increase of water from the rain. So dalam 2-3 jam dah laku flood. Now I'm worried when it is raining, I'm going back to Putrajaya. Which road will be flooded, especially like sebab kita yang rendah lah. So I'm little bit worried now, especially during rainy season. That's all my answer. Thank you. Maybe Prof. Raza can add more. What regarding apa tu roof plan? What do you call? Yang tanam rumput atas bumbung kan? Yang itu tak mencukupi. I don't think it is enough. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe our
Maybe a two-part. One is, first is would like to congratulations and then thanks for your effort. And I can see that is, as I don't want to say that as prodigies, as I can see, but now my age is 70 plus, 74, 75. So I can see the growing, the advancement of this, GIS as well as remote sensing, since with UTM in the 70s, 80s. So, it's not claiming, but I can see that time. The technology is expanding very fast, and so when I came here, I said, I can see that people like you guys as well as our sister here. I see. So you have another, about 14 years, maybe our sister, Dr. Leonie, you are about what? Maybe, you a bit younger than her, I see. So now I wish that, before we go off in like, Prof. Alias, while I still, we, from my age, where we, sort of nurture, we nurture you guys, we recruit you, we, ask you to sort of, pick you up because of thinking this, the technology is very, so I did the same things in UTM. So how, Prof. Alias, you get protege from the late Prof. Aris, and now remote sensing Prof. Nazri now is retired, but I think they has a kind of a protege also. Yeah. So this is the kind that I've seen that. I think that time I was very when I was here as well, the deputy dean that time. Simply can pick up this one, and probably our neighbor that time from Uko in the UTM. Why you guys the planners and we want to take this remote sensing, and GIS is something to do with the Uko things. I say that, I've seen that because I went to US, for example, when I say that, this will be my question later on. I've seen that related to what being asked about the security. I was amazed that in the 80s, early 80s in US, we try to be secretive. Look at our map, you see, we blank, all these the security places. But I've seen, kind of a lot of things in the US at that time. So I said, so how come you want to protect that? It's very difficult because of American already knows. So what they're doing now, you see, in Gaza, same thing. You see, that's why they get targets all this, Hamas. It's no problem. So I don't know how you want to protect and in terms of that, because of all the data is very open. Everybody can use the technology. They develop that. So this is probably about when you say that all the ministry or the stakeholders of that try to be proactive. It's not possible in that. So it's so advanced. The only thing that we have to really nurture and make it sort of open. Then everybody can use it and with responsible. Everybody is that. That's I think I'm So how when you say that you want to protect on that aspect. In fact, at the same time, we want everybody's access to that and we say get all the information. Is it possible to do that in terms of security?
Yes, Prof. Okay, thank you very much, Prof. So to let us know that Prof. Mansur is actually brought me to KAED on the last 2011 with Dr. Rostam. So thank you, Prof, also coming to my event. Prof. Rashid also, thank you very much. So I think regard to the questions, actually data privacy and also data protection can be done if I think every agencies and also all the ministries actually sit down all together and then do it in professional. So I think the real situations right now for those who are in that place or in that seat, so know the situation very well. So we are hoping that we are moving because we are now the developed country. So and then we have been loaded with so many informations, and then some can be accessible and then some can be protected. So I think this is the time from now, the respective agency or the responsible agency need to take the kind of the actions, so to ensure that in terms of the security and then the data protection, the privacy, and also the data sharing is actually happen in all together. It's possible, Prof, actually. So inshallah, with a very good cooperation, everybody sit down and then talk nicely, talk professionally, so then I think it can be happen.
Please, we still raise more questions, please.
Okay, I have one comment and some question. So we should be very careful about what you say about data security, because the defense agencies, if they see us too much on this, they may just stop us from getting the data. You know, even now, it's not easy to get data from JUPEM, to get topographic data if your student is doing a research master or PhD. Sometimes I think the students start in semester 1, maybe lucky to get in semester 3, you know, sometimes, okay? Or other times the supervisor got to go and beg to them, you know, to get it. The system is there. You say you can get to the library, just order, but I see that it doesn't work as well as. And they in Malaysia, actually, we are a little bit lucky. We still can get the data flowing. In some countries, they block it entirely. So I think for data security, we have to find some solution, which is practical. Nowadays, you get data from satellite. You know, you want to block here, block there, people can get from the satellite. So what's the big deal? And coming back to the issue of the prevention, this second issue, on the prevention of the floods and the permanent solution, we are talking with nature. We have to collaborate with God, you see. So sometimes the musibah come. There must be reason also. Now in Japan, they get earthquake all the time. You know, they have given up preventing earthquake. There's no way to prevent the earthquake. Well, what they do is they are very ready with the disaster plan. You know, we can predict the earthquake. We know where to move. Just like in the US recently, you had the hurricane coming in. Save the human being. So all the people in the path of the storm are all shifted out. The destruction is only to the property. But in Malaysia, I noticed, for example, in East Coast, we get monsoon every year. It's predictable. We're sure to get it. You're going home, you're going to get it also. So what happens is that, you notice, they shift out, and then after the flood is over, they come back to the same place, the same kampung, they stay there. And next year, get ready for flood and ask for bantuan again. So this cycle goes on. I saw in China, one of a very good example, he's a landscape architect. He said the flood water flow in this path, so nobody should stay here. We make into a nice park, a beautiful park. So year round, everybody can enjoy the park. When it's flood, don't come lah, it's the river already. So I think sometimes we deal with nature, we make some sort of practical solutions lah. Anyway, this is just some of my response to some of the discussion. But I want to come back to Prof. Zaila. Thank you for very much interesting and futuristic talk on the application of geospatial. I am very impressed. I am very happy actually to see all of that. And I think that's really the way to go. My question will be, how do you integrate it? There are so many geospatial technologies, you know, so many new things to learn. I'm sure the young people, the students, they will love to do all that. But you have your urban planning, your, you know, town planning, regional planning, architecture, so many things to do. So how do you bring this technology or knowledge into your curriculum? Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Prof. Rashid. So thank you also coming to this event, Prof, again. Okay, to answer the questions, actually, as I mentioned earlier, so when we talk about the urban planning, we are tackling so many issues. So it will be come from the, actually, in the aspect of the physical, that which is there are so many small subsection that which is you need to study over there. And then we also need to tackling something that related to the social, and then we need to also tackling issues related to the economy and also the political. So all the lists of this kind of the geospatial approach, so what we need to do is actually how clever we are choosing that methods or that tools. So I think that's the question that I will give to all the audience. So meaning that, for example, if you want tackling to the flash flood, for example, so then what are the methods or what are the tools, and then which types of the geospatial approach that you need to select from all the lists that I have given to you just now. So I think the question is going back to the audience. Okay, Prof? Yeah.
Yes, Prof. Alias, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Congratulations, Prof. Zaila. At the end of the day, you became a professor already. Okay, your talk is very interesting, not because of what. I was with Dr. Shafi'i in the public hearing of Kuala Lumpur. Recently, we spent about 5 months, very tiring sessions to listen to 28,000 objections. One important thing that we discovered that about the technology sometimes it is good, sometimes it has been abused and overused or whatever. In the preparations of the statutory maps like structure plan, local plan, they use the technology, especially GIS. Very good. I feel very proud because we have more graduates, talented people to use GIS, special, what they call it, tool. In the EMP, we are having the sessions of the public complaints about something by using GIS. Do you know that? They said, you see, in this local plan, you zone this plot to be commercial. They said, why you are zoning this plot to be commercial? I said, what's wrong with that plot? They show us. Later on, they open up the structure plan, the gazetted structure plan. Said, you see, they zoom it in. Because the technology can zoom in, zoom out, although you converted it to PDF. You see, here it is open space. But you can set it as an open space. Now, in the local plan, draft local plan, you color it blue as a commercial. Isn't it conflict? Not conform to the plan? They say, well, to that extent, they really go and zoom in. I say, because of that, we make a decision that conformity is important. It means GIS is a good tool for many things. I realize about that. Likewise, I think you also involved. We had a project with Yayasan Kepimpinan Perdana about this a little bit political in nature because Tun Mahathir wanted to know in Kuala Lumpur what will be the tendencies of Malay giving out their lands, isn't it? That was the project, isn't it? Giving out the land to the non-Malay. We had a hard time also because to determine the conversions of the land from the Malay to the non-Malay is not an easy task because the information is not well available. I was given this task to Prof. Zaila at the time with, I think of you with somebody, Ilyani, isn't it? Ilyani or you alone? I'm not sure.
Alone.
You're alone, okay. And then I did nothing about that because I'm only doing the talking because with Tun Mahathir, my specialty is talking, not showing because I don't do showing. Say. But the GIS has been utilized, really utilized. I do not know how she did it. Represented the whole plan for the 11 electoral area about the change of use, change of the ownerships from the Malay property ownership to the non-Malay. It is quite high and crucial because what is important is to show to the political people that a lot of land use change has been done and ownership also there. Because for your information, maybe within us, soon there will be an exercise of determining the new boundary for the elections. The MPs of Kuala Lumpur is demanding to have more seats, especially to break down their electorate boundary. We realize more increase in terms of non-Malay ownerships of the properties. So it shows that GIS is a good tool, but to what extent politicians will be using this tool is another issue. We are looking at that. But it means what? Whatever Prof. Zaila has presented, it indicates this a good achievement of utilizing spatial data and GIS as a tool in any applications. But then, again, as I said, use, abuse, misuse about GIS is also, yes, data, especially not the GIS, the data itself is emerging agenda for the future, because as Prof. Rashid said, security is another issue, ownership is another issue. And I realize the problem lies with Malaysia is the data ownership. Although it is a special data, but we have too many agencies own the data nowadays. I still remember when I was young, still young at that time, about 20 years ago, Prof. Mansur was with us. We used to buy data from Jupem, I think, Prof. Rashid, Jupem. Jupem is selling data. We wanted to buy this topographic map of an area. Jupem, as usual, when they sell to this, they will erase bridges, some important, what do you call it, armed force, police station. So they erase it. They make it blur. You cannot see it. Later on, yeah, that's right. Then we got angry because I said, how can I use this data? Because it was erased by them. But then at the same time, Google produced the map. We make a joke. So whatever you erase, we can copy it from Google. And we paste it on their maps, you see. Later on, finally they decided not to erase it anymore because accept certain things. I do not know what. But we can still see it through Google Maps, I see. So it means what? It means technology has changed, things have changed, way of doing things has changed. But the only thing that we have not achieved better is to develop the technology itself. We are good user, but not a developer. Maybe we should be looking at how we can develop better future through the technology, by building the technology as well as using it together in urban planning, I think. But I thank you for taking this and some young lecturers taking GIS core important matters to assist urban planning matters. Sooner or later, we are going outdated soon, because I'm now 60 over. Prof. Mansur is 70 over. When I reach 70 over, Prof. Mansur become 80 over. So we are looking for another house, old folk homes visit, where we can play GIS inside their home. But thank you very much. I congratulate you on your achievement. Thank you.
Right. Thank you very much also, Prof. I think you still support me till the day one. So after I met Prof. Mansur and Dr. Rostam, so actually I went to Prof. Alias, which is I'm actually surrender myself. Okay, Prof. I want to do the GIS for IIUM. So then I discussed a few things with Prof. Alias during that time. So Alhamdulillah, still keep supporting me till the day. So it's okay, Prof. I also will follow you after this. So I'm not so sure also how long I will be relevant in here, but I still hoping, although I'm not relevant, but still the GIS is relevant to all of us in this country and also in this world.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Prof. TPR Geospatial Dr. Nur Zailawati for the engaging the Q&A session. If there is no questions, yeah, as our speaker is a well-known figure, we hope that her expertise and assistance, civil authorities, and contribute extensively to the body of knowledge, and those who surround her with a knowledgeable aura. Now, with the photography session online, dear audience, we will now move on to the photography session. We will begin the audience in the online Zoom first, later with the audience on the floor. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request for all to switch on your camera for a few moments. Okay, here is a perfect time for you to flash your brightest smiles while the organizers snap a few